Hacks Podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hacks Podcast.
Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Monday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. This your host with the most, Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. What it do, my guy?
Morning, bro.
How was your weekend?
Everything was good.
Well, that's good. That's
hmm
good, young fella. That's good, young fella. All right, there we go. So we're back at it this morning on this Monday morning. Y'all know Friday, we kind of hit on we did the consumer credit 101. And today, we kind of just wanted to just kind of follow back up with that and maybe try to dig a little deeper into it. We'll do a little recap from Friday. I tried my best to reach out to um, a couple of people who that I know are credit uh, professionals, credit repair professionals, if there's such a thing. And I wanted to, have somebody on that could really answer maybe some pertinent questions that Lavelle and I can't answer. Um, but hey, it didn't work out that way, and we're gonna keep it moving. Shout out to Lavelle, man. I was really inquisitive about the Chat GPT, and he kind of told me some stuff that he was using it for, man. And I did some experiment this weekend, bro. And
Man, look, that thing will have you up all night. I was on my uncle house last night, and
all I got to say is, shh.
yeah, he's the pastor, so he was. Me and his wife was talking about just trying to get some things and do some things better with ministry and stuff like that. I said one of the things I think we fall short of is knowing more information about our membership. And
Right.
uh, I said, watch this. I went took my stuff back to the truck. I said, check this out. I said, you have a church name, Anointed Faith Outreach Ministries. You need to do a membership form for your membership to find out more about what they do. Da 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 da. Literally gave everything you needed to do. Their name, their spouses, their emergency contact, what ministry they want to be a part of. Da 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 da. A whole form. And I said, okay, I love this. Can you make this in PDF format? It did it. I sent it to him. He was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I was doing all weekend, bro. I was creating, update my resume,
All that.
cover
All that, bro.
letters, bro. Ad for my boss, for social media, stock
Now,
market analysis.
I'm finna go ahead. I've been one of my bucket list things. I want to write me a book. So this morning when I woke up, I said, okay, you got the tool. Go ahead and put it together. But I'm gonna make sure I put my stuff in order format so it can answer correctly the information that I'm putting into it, so I can dialogue with it correctly.
Right.
And hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna have me a book out.
But you can just well, you know that. Yeah, you can upload whatever manuscript you have, and
Right.
it'll correct the English, the grammar. I was
Yep.
like, this is off the chain.
I was talking to my sister Thursday, and literally her whole workflow consists of AI. She uses ChatGPT, this other one called Claude, and Gemini, and she kind of like creates a conversation between all the three to make her workflow work better as far as what she has to do for her leadership team. I'm like,
Mm,
this stuff is crazy.
wow. Well, okay. Hey, you can use ChatGPT. Guess what, y'all? To help you with your credit repair?
I figured you went there. I was
I
waiting.
ain't go
I
there.
wasn't
I
gonna say nothing. You had
just
already
thinking
did.
about what we can do, you know. So
Uh-huh.
this is kind of what we talked about. So just a quick recap. I mean, Friday. We talked about. First of all, let me go back. Let me do this one first. We talked about. Good morning, Paulette. Good morning, Zoe. We talked about the difference between your credit score and the FICO scores, because they are different. The FICO scores are what most banks and companies, credit issuing companies, use nowadays. The credit score is cool, it's important, but the FICO scores. Now, check this out: the credit score is not the FICO score, but the FICO score is the credit score. If
Right.
that makes sense. So the FICO score is kind of the go-to. It's the overall, the Vantage score, or where the credit score. There are different little agencies, so to speak, that kind of that you can get your credit score from. And Vantage score is one of them. Vantage score is probably one of the more popular ones in terms of credit score. But the FICO score, the Fair Isaac credit score, is the one that most banks and stuff use. So there is a difference, and the way they look at your credit worthiness. And this is a breakdown of both of those, and we talked about those on Friday. Your utilization of your credit, paying your bills on time, all of that stuff, we talked about it. So that's a breakdown of both of them. Good morning, Azon. And so this is a more, I guess, clearer look at the actual FICO score rating. This FICO score, it says credit score, but we just said earlier. That's what I went back to it. Your FICO score is your credit score, but your credit score is not your FICO score. So this is actually a breakdown of how FICO gets your credit, determines your credit worthiness. So 35% of it is payment history. So Lavelle said that you got to be a good paymaster. If you want your stuff, your credit to go up, you want to do it the right way. 35% of your credit worthiness is based on you paying your debts on time. Another big part of it is the level of debt that you have, right? Um, if you got too much debt, you know, um, and you using all of your debt. Let's say you have 5 credit cards and total, your limit is $10,000. And then they look on there, you got 5 credit cards, and they know your limits is 2,000 on each card, and your credit cards are maxed out. Well, that's 100% utilization of your credit.
Yep.
So they're gonna look at your credit words and say, "Oh, this person, they blow credit out the water. They might not even be a good paymaster." So 65% of your credit worthiness is based on just those two things: you paying your bill on time, and your level of debt and utilization of that debt. The 15% is the age of the credit, how long you've had those particular cards, or had that mortgage, or that personal loan, or that car payment, how long you had it. So if you've been paying on that stuff for a year, and you've been paying good, you kept your credit cards down, you pay your car note on time, you pay your mortgage on time, chances are you're gonna be looking pretty good, because now you're talking about that's 80% of your credit score rating that's keeping you looking good. And 10% of it is the type of credit, whether it's a mortgage, a credit loan. If you got your credit, no mortgage, no car, no personal loan, and all credit cards, it may be frowned upon a little bit. You got to have some variety in the types of credit that you have. All right. And then the last thing is credit inquiries. Those hard inquiries on your credit report, they hurt you. It only represents 10%, but they do hurt you. You know,
Right.
some you apply for 2 or 3 things, and all of a sudden, boom, you know. That's why you got a lot of companies now, even as it relates to personal loan. You can apply for, you go on one site and apply, and then they send your credit to 40 people to see which one of them would offer you a loan.
hmm
That can be good if you're only gonna use one of them one time. But if you're gonna use several different ones that do that, that's gonna stack them up on you. And then try to find those ones that give you a pre-approval or a pre-qualification based on a soft inquiry. That way you'll know if you got a decent shot or not to even apply. And sometimes they'll take that pre-qual or pre-approval, and they don't run a hard inquiry, which is cool too. They just use that soft now. I mean, it's going to eventually show up on your credit because that's a new debt that you have. So,
hmm
all right. So, what's the difference? Some of you guys might not have been here. What is the difference between the FICO score and the non-FICO credit scores? Not our credit score, FICO scores. FICO scores have been the industry standard for determining a person's credit risk. Many lenders use FICO scores to make faster, fairer, and more accurate lending decisions. Other credit scores can be very different from FICO scores, sometimes as much as 100 points. And so that's one of the bigger difference too. Your credit score or Vantage score, credit score, it may actually show that you at a 750. But when you actually pull your actually FICO score, your FICO score is at a 650. And you were like, no, my credit is, I'm at a 750. I'm at a 750. Yeah, your credit score. But we just told you most lending institutions go off your FICO score and not necessarily your credit score. So yeah, even though you might have a 750 credit score, because it's determined, credit score is determined by different ages. Vantage score is just one of them, right?
hmm
So FICO is determined by one organization, Fair Isaac. That's it. It is not determined by multiple different units, and that's why they feel like it's more accurate, more um, fair in terms of determining your credit worthiness. And whereas your credit score can be determined by different, depending on that credit institution who they use, could be determined by several different other factors or several different organizations. All right. So, um, and sometimes, like I said, it could be a difference as much as 100 points, you know. So, of course, you want to make sure that um, you consider the FICO score or dig a little deep. You can actually go to the website is, let me see if I can find it, put it up for y'all. I think it's FICO, myfico.com. Yeah, myfico, myfico.com. So you can actually go to myfico.com and get your actual FICO score based on the 3 bureaus, a combination of the 3 bureaus. So it's my FICO. Can you put that in the chat, Lavia? Myfico.com. So why do the FICO scores even matter? So it matters because you don't want, when you're trying to. So let me go ahead and say this too. They only really matter in the U.S. They only really matter here in most cases. Um, so why do the FICO scores matter? Imagine a world where every lender used a completely different method, and see that's kind of what was going on with this credit score, where you had all these different organizations trying to determine what a person's credit score was and putting out, hey, that credit score is this, and this other organization said, oh, that credit score is this, and another one, that credit score is this, and then so these lending institutions and stuff. So it really to protect these lending institutions more so than anything, because these lending institutions out here saying there's 3 different types of credit scores out here. Which one is the most, because this one over here said they had a 350, this one said they had a 650, this one said a 750. Which one is more accurate? You know, and so they came up with the Fair Isaac to, make it all in kind of one inclusive and one, and so it's now the go-to, because there are no other organizations creating FICO score. That FICO score is only created by the Fair Isaac. So, you know, that's why so many institutions go to it now, because they're saying, hey, we can utilize this particular FICO score, use their FICO score to determine their credit worthiness, and we don't have to worry about whatever that credit score is. I mean, that actual other Vantage score credit score is. So here are the top 3 reasons you should choose your FICO score over just your regular credit score. One, you can be confident you're seeing a score many lenders actually use. 2, you can make more informed financial decisions. And 3, you get 25 plus years of experience and a score that evolves to meet your needs. So it's not just, you know, um, 3 different organizations out here creating a credit score for you that may or may not determine your credit worthiness versus an organization that's been around 20 plus years, that most lending institutions use. It just makes sense. It just makes absolute sense. And so if you wanted to do a comparison for yourself, in terms of whether or not you want to use credit scores or FICO scores, they kind of put a side by side comparison based on what these actually mean. So it said FICO scores on the left side. It says the standard for over 25 years, used by 90% of top lenders, making lender decisions consistent, fast, and fair. Gives you a better understanding of your credit and more confidence when you apply. Other credit scores, often called educational scores, can be significantly different than your FICO score, can be off by up to 100 points, causing you to under or overestimate your credit worthiness. So, and that's why sometimes you get your face cracked when you go run into these companies and, nah, my credit score is this. And they be like, yeah, but your FICO score is this. And because of that, we cannot approve you at this time. And then you confused because you thought all that's the same. So we're telling you today it's different. We told you Friday it's different. It's inherently different. And again, that breakdown with the FICO score, payment history represents 35% of your score. 30% of the FICO score represents the amount owed, the different type of debt, and how much utilization you have within that debt. Number 3, 15% of your FICO scores represent the length of your credit history, the length of those actual debt that you have. So how to improve? So one of the ways to improve too, you can keep your older credit counts open and in good standing, as this adds an average credit score lit. So
Yep.
sometimes this is what we do. And this is what I was gonna tell you guys Friday that I didn't tell you. So I know we get happy sometimes, right? And we pay the credit cards off. And that's cool because now your credit utilization has gone down. So you pay those cards off, but then we make the mistake of closing them out. Oh, I ain't if they open, I'm gonna use them, and then we close them out. So once you close them out, that count back the length of credit time that you had that card, all that stuff goes with it.
Yep.
And so if you paid it out, you always paid it on time. Just keep it open. Now the institution themselves, if they ain't using it, we can close it. They can do it, but don't you close it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only time, sometimes what can happen, like I know with Credit Care, what happened with me, and I think it was Coles. They try to bully you to use their credit. So like with Care Credit, I mean, it's cool. I've used it for like some health things as far as my personal health and some stuff I did for my children. But for the most part, I don't use the card. So once I paid it off, I didn't need it, and so they called and said we're gonna get ready to eliminate this and may hurt your credit. Da 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 da. And I let them close it. I mean, well, they had already closed it, and so it was what it was. But I ended up having to turn back around and use it again, and because of my credit worthiness, and I didn't close it myself personally, they opened it right back up.
Mm-hmm.
With Kohl's, on the other hand, they were like, you either use this card or we're gonna close your account. So they trying to make you go shop and use your card. So I kind of
Right.
use it for them holidays, but I generally don't try to close no accounts.
Yeah. And it don't hurt every now and then you just go throw something on it and pay it out. Just
Yeah.
so they can say, well, that person used, because if you had a car for 3 years and you ain't used it, well, chances are they may just go ahead on it, because that has happened to me several times with like my little Zelles and K's cards and stuff, right?
hmm
I don't use them because when I pay them off, I don't use them, you know.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they close them. But then when I see something I want, I go in there. I want this. They just reopen the account or open
hmm
another one.
Yep.
So it's kind of a catch-22, a damn if you don't, damn if you do type thing. But you
Right.
definitely have to be paying attention to.
hmm
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, son, where you been, my guy? They've been holding you hostage. The type of credit for the FICO score is 10% again. And what this means is, make sure you have a different mix of credit accounts that you have, such as credit cards, auto loans, and mortgage, what I said earlier. A diverse mix of credit accounts can be beneficial, but it's less impactful than a payment history or amounts owed. So yeah, of course, it only impacts your credit score by 10%, but it's still, that's 10% that could impact your score, period. And then new credit. How many new credit accounts you've opened or applied for recently can impact it by 10%. Avoid applying for too much new credit in a short period, as each application can slightly lower your score. And just the hard inquiries, period. Especially if you ain't getting approved for them jokers. you know. So
hmm
you have to be super, super careful of those things. And so here's a couple of definitions. The credit score. It's a 3-digit number calculated from the data on your credit report that indicates your credit worthiness. The purpose, it helps lenders predict your likelihood of repaying loan. Creation credit scoring models like FICO and VantageScore apply algorithms to credit report data from bureaus like Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax to create scores. Variety, you can have hundreds of different credit scores, as each report and scoring model can generate different numbers. So that's in terms of the credit score. And that's why they saying it can have so many different credit scores or models that, it can be confusing to a lot of lenders to which one is actually represents your credit worthiness. But for the FICO score, the definition is a specific type of credit score branded and developed by the Fair Isaac Corporation. It's the industry standard. FICO scores are the most widely used credit scores, used in over 90% of U.S. lending decisions. FICO creates various scores, including base scores and industry-specific versions for auto loans and credit cards, which may use different ranges between 250 and 900. Uh, fin- Financial institutions use FICO scores to evaluate your credit risk when you apply for loans or credit cards. And one of the key takeaways is that think of credit score. I think we said this, which was a really good analogy. We said this Friday. Think of your credit score as the general category like fruit, and then your FICO score as the specific type within that category, like an apple. While you might see
hmm
various credit scores, your FICO score is often one most relevant for major financial decisions. And I thought that was a really, really good analogy because, when you're looking at credit scores, um, like I said, it could be so much variety. It could be all fruit, but it could be an apple, an orange, a peach, a pear. See, but when you look at the FICO, it's it kind of hones it down a little bit more and say, well, it's a fruit, but it's an apple.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just a fruit, it's an apple. You know what kind of fruit it is. And
Right.
so that will help you determine your credit worthiness in most cases with your FICO score. And so what I wanted to move on today is, like, how can you actually, if you have credit issues or you're trying to strengthen your credit, what can you do to try to get your credit score up?
Great segue, sir. Well, majority of all of the credit bureaus have tips, tools, even like Experian has a thing called a credit stimulator to help
Mhm.
you do certain things with your credit. So
Mhm.
while you was talking, I was able to go on Experian and screen record a video just showing you that they do things to help you build your credit and tell you some tools.
5 quick tips to boost your credit scores. First up, make sure you're making those credit payments on time. And hey, why not use Experian Boost to get credit for those non-traditional payments like rent and utilities? Next, catch up on any past due accounts because late payments can haunt your score for up to 7 years. Third, tackle those high revolving account balances to keep your credit utilization rate in check. 4, spice up your credit file by diversifying with different types of accounts or even become an authorized user on a loved one's account with a stellar payment history. Finally, be mindful of how often you apply for new credit to dodge those pesky hard inquiries that can snowball and impact your score. Stay on top of your game by tracking your progress with the Experian app, where you can snag a free FICO score and insights. Now, let's get that credit score soaring.
And so here's just an example. This is like a report card of my credit. So you're able to go on here and keep up what you got going on. Payment history, 35% of your score. Mine is exceptional. Amount of debt exceptional. Length of credit good. Amount of new credit good. Credit mix is so the tools are out here.
Yeah.
You don't need nobody really to help you build your credit. You just got to stay on top of it.
Well, so let me, and that sounds good. Some people can do that, and some people are just not as articulate um as some others in getting things done quickly, like Lavelle. Hold on. So you might sometimes you might have to have a little help, and we understand that. So if you want to try to start to repair your credit, by all means, I would say try to start it off try to repair it yourself. So first thing you want to do, you should start by checking, getting a copy of all your credit reports from those 3 major bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, right? Get your credit bureau, get your credit reports, look over all of those reports. And if you see stuff that's, over 7 years, is real old, or stuff that's maybe not even yours, because especially when people have the same name, like me and my dad and my son got the same name. So they can easily mix something in the reports, because sometimes they don't look at the these companies when they're reporting. They don't actually look at the social security number. They just see a name and report. And that's not necessarily my, because I have ran across where it wasn't my debt, it was my dad's debt. It was like, and it was the thing was, it was good debt, but it still wasn't mine. Because what if you went from good to bad? I didn't want to claim it, so I just had to remove from mine.
Right.
But you can actually look at those reports, start to just kind of circle some things, or if you got wrong addresses on the report, you can remove some of that stuff. I went on one of my reports because I was doing all 3 of the bureaus, and all 3 of those bureaus have a dispute link that you can start a dispute and kind of go through that whole thing. And I had addresses from way back in the day. Man, I was like, oh, these little crazy address. I had all that stuff, and then some of the addresses wasn't even mine. It was 3 or 4 addresses on there wasn't even mine. At some point they didn't mix that credit file up. So
Yeah.
I had all that stuff taken off, and I just have my current address on there.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to check and dispute any errors. So obtain your credit report from major bureaus. Carefully review your reports for inaccuracies such as incorrect personal information, that personal information I'm talking about, or accounts that aren't yours. Dispute any errors you find with the credit bureau and to have them removed. The next thing, we keep talking about this, is make on-time payments.
Mm-hmm.
Pay your stuff on time. I'm gonna tell you, I have this thing on my phone. I have this thing on my phone called I'm trying to pull it up now. I love it. It's called the checkbook.
Okay.
And it is like a checkbook register. And so I have six different bank accounts. This is crazy, but I have 6 bank accounts. But with a couple of them, because a couple of them I have like the checking and the save. So that's actually, let me see, 1, 2, yeah, okay. So I got a business, I got a checking and a saving with my personal, then I got another credit union with a checking and a savings, and then I got another checking account, then I got I got my business account. So I got all these accounts, 6 accounts. And I was like, how in the hell I'm gonna keep up with transactions on all 6 of these accounts? And so, and this was actually before I had 6 accounts. I think at the time I only had like 3 accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this thing. I had this now for probably 8, 9, 10 years. But it's
Okay.
called the checkbook. And they have a basic simple model that you can download, or you can get the premium version, right? But it's like a check register. You go in there and put your check. So what I did for my personal bills, I went in there and I know every pay period I'm getting paid. I know the amount. My pay ain't changing, right? And if it
Mm-hmm.
do change, you can go in there and edit it.
Right.
I went in there and I listed all of my pay for the rest of the year. Each pay period. Went in and put it in there. But the thing with the checkbook is you don't have to they got this little button off to the side where you can check it. Like once it's hit, like my check hits, I can put that check and then it activates that into my account and shows it's active in the account, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show a verified balance. It just shows a balance. But once you click on it, now it's a verified balance. So what I do is every like I went in there, I did this early this year. I went through the whole year, put my pay periods in there, boom, put Monica's retirement, boom. And then I went and looked at all of the liabilities that I have that I pay out money from, and then you can't predict what your MLGW gonna be,
No,
right?
you can't.
You can't,
Mm-hmm.
but you can. I just go off what my average is, because I can always change that amount when the bill actually hit. I change that amount.
Okay.
So I go through there, and for all the way through December, I got all of my bills listed on there. And all I do is once that bill hit my account, I hit the verify so that bill can activate in that check register and show, oh, it's cleared, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I know when my bills are due, because I know every bill. So I got it in there. So I know what I can do and what I can't do with my money, because I know where my money going.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have a spreadsheet. They list all they pays, liability. For me, this was easy because I know when I get paid. I know when all my bills due, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I know when I put all those bills in there, if I get paid here and my bills hit, I know that I can't do, like, I might have $30 left over after that pay period. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't go in and spend $200 when I know I only got $30 left out of the pay period.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really, I love it. When I tell you I
It's
love
give
this
you
thing,
checks and balances.
man, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but it definitely keeps your checks and balances. And I'm gonna show you, like, okay, I don't know where you guys can
Yeah,
see.
it's too bright.
Yeah, you can't see it, but it I mean, I got every bill that I pay out. And actually, what this does too is if you got a lot of subscriptions to stuff, um, but even with paying off your debt, right? Like what I'm telling you now, like this is a good way, cause when you start listing all your debt, you don't really realize how much debt you got, cause you got subscriptions, you got insurance that come out quarterly cause you ain't looking at all that stuff. But when you put it in here like this in this checkbook, when you put it in there, now you can see, oh, man, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that. And then you can say, you know what? Some of these
I don't
subscriptions
need this.
do away with. And
Mm-hmm.
you can start doing away with some of those subscriptions. I know some people say, well, I got Rocket, whatever the Rocket thing is that tell me about all these subscriptions I got. That's cool. But until you actually see it in black and white in front of you, and you can determine at that point, do I really need this? Do I really need that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I went through and I said, Tony, you ain't really need that. You just paying for that. That's
Mm-hmm.
$25 a month you paying for. So I got rid of some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it cleared up a little stuff. But it was cool for me to see the debt, cause you don't, a lot of the little residual things that happen every month, you don't necessarily see them until you actually put them in your check, or however you keep. A lot of people don't, this is something I ain't never understood. You got people that don't have a checkbook register, don't have a check, don't keep up. They just in their head. And then they want to know why they always getting overdraft. No. You need a checkbook register or something that keeps up with those debts as it comes out. Because me and my wife use the same account. What if my wife go get her nails done and she forget to tell me?
Mm-hmm.
If she put it in the check register, go open my phone, put it in the check register, then I'm cool. Because she can literally, the good thing is she can have this same check register on her phone. And everything uploads to the file uploads to Dropbox. So she got Dropbox and we share the same Dropbox file. All she has to do is, if she go in there and make add something in it, she just go in there and update that, and it'll update on my end. All I got to do is go in there and she'll back it up, and I go in there and upload it, and I can see what she done, and it changes. So two people can really operate within this thing. All they got to do is make sure they upload, updating it every time they go in there to make sure they got the current, thing in there. If that makes sense. Current file. So it's good to have. My son was asking me, he said, man, how you keep up with all your expenses and know what you can pay and afford and all this? I said, it's simple. I said, you can start off by getting you a spreadsheet and listing all the money that you got coming in, and then you list all your liabilities. And then if your liabilities is more than your income, you need another job. You need to go get another job, my guy. Or you need to stop spending.
Right.
And a lot of young folk don't really pay attention to that. They just go out there and spend. Just because they give you $100 raise on your does not necessarily equate to $100 in your account.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just got $130 raise. Yeah, but they gonna tax that joint. You got a little bit going towards your 401k. You got, so that 130 might be now $45. So you can't go out there and get a whole new account somewhere, new
Mm-hmm.
furniture. That 130, I'm using that to pay the furniture account because it ain't 130. Some people
Right.
spend it as quick as they get it. And I was guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a promotion. Oh, now I can do this. I wasn't calculating no taxes. I'm talking, I was young, bro. I got a promotion. I wasn't calculating no taxes, none of that. I just extra $4-5. No, not knowing them folks in the tax, go out there and buy a whole new car.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, as soon as I got it, so the credit can be good, but if you overextended in that credit, Rodney, you still can struggle. People that what's the use of having good credit, but you struggling to pay for it?
Yep. Can't overextend yourself.
Your credit A1, but you ain't got no room to do nothing because that's all you doing is working to pay bills. And that's how I was. I was like that for years, y'all. I'm being transparent as I could be. I was
I
working
was too. You ain't by yourself.
I was working to pay bills.
You ain't by yourself.
And although I never really was nervous about what if I couldn't pay the bills, but looking back in hindsight, if there was ever a point where I missed a check or two, I'd have been screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Which most people are. They said most people are 1 to 2 paychecks away from filing bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. What you got down there?
Another thing, too, as far as building your credit, it's always a tip and trick of how to pay your credit card bills. And it's a trick that I learned. It's kind of throws you off, and it takes some time to try to go and do, depending on how many credit cards you have. But once you get it, I promise you, it changes it. And she can kind of explain it to you.
Credit card like this, you're doing it better than 99% of people. There are legit only 2 dates that you need to keep on your radar. The first is your payment due date, which is the date you gotta drop some cash to avoid a late fee. And the second is your statement closing date, which is high key even more important because that's when your balance gets reported to the credit bureaus. For this video, our payment due date will be on the 11th and our statement closing date will be on the 16th. So let's break it down. We pay off our balance by the 11th, but then we're out living our best life and drop 5K in 5 days. So on the 16th, which is our statement closing date, that 5K goes on record and seriously messes with our utilization. Bam, we do not want high utilization. So if you got some big brain energy, you're gonna pay off your balance on the 10th instead, and then chill and wait for your utilization to come back as a clean 0% on the 19th. And then we're gonna go on our little shopping spree. So paying your credit card on time, sure, that's cool. But the low utilization game is an even bigger flag.
So basically, you just trick the system, and you make you paying your payment before the due date, but you know your statement date as well. So it's like but that's why I always try to have my stuff always paid up either a month or 2 months in advance. So it really is not even it matters, but it don't matter. But if you know your statement date and your due date, which are 2 different dates, because like sometimes you can go on your credit card and say 0 amount due, and then when you go on there a couple of weeks later, it'll have the minimum amount due. But you got to know your statement date and your due date so you can kind of manipulate the system.
That's a very good point because I have a fuel card for my business,
Mm-hmm.
and I was always trying to go in there and pay my fuel card before time,
Mm-hmm.
So what had happened would be I go on there and I see, oh, this is the amount, and I pay it.
Mm-hmm.
I pay it, all of a sudden I get a call from them and say, your bill. I was like, nah, I pay my bill. Oh, yeah, nah, bro, I pay my bill. And then he's like, now you owe this. And I was like, why is it? So I finally, after 2 or 3 months of doing this,
Mm-hmm.
one dude actually broke it down for me. He said, Mr. Mays, he said, what the last couple of people didn't tell you was even though you get that statement that comes out, he said your whole thing does not what word he used? The word he used was like it doesn't I guess it goes through this
Cycle. It's a cycle.
yeah, well, whatever he said, I can't use the word failure, but he said it does not do it to the 5th of the month. He said, so
Correct.
always check it after the 5th. He said,
Mhm.
because I see you're paying it before the 5th, and so when it cycles and goes back through whatever it does, and now it's a different amount than what you see.
Mhm.
And so he said that amount could be less or more depending on what he said that's why in the past, like it had hurt you because you probably was paying more, but the last couple of times you might had a couple more things and it hadn't kind of went through the whole cycle yet. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. So now I wait till after the 5th till I see what it has, what the actual amount is, and then pay it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what is the name of the set tax form for your house? I don't know. I'm a little confused with that one though.
Let me see what you're talking about.
In the past, on occasion, Ms. Loretta said, I discovered that I forgot to make a payment to maybe Macy's or Penny's or a day 1 day late. I called CS and acknowledged my error, and they removed the late payment that they had assessed to my account, which means it didn't go on my credit report. No, what that means is they just removed that late payment. So
Mm-hmm. That's what it was.
most of the accounts. So let me tell y'all, most of the accounts, even though you pay them late because they have a date you pay them, most of them don't actually report unless you're more than 30 days late.
Correct.
So even though they just assess a late payment because they have a due date. The due date is 15th, right? And you don't pay it by the 15th, then they assess you $40, $25, $10, $20, whatever late payment.
Mm-hmm.
But most companies don't report that your account is late until it's more than 30 days late. Most companies. So just because they removed a late payment, that don't really mean nothing. They just felt like, hey, well, technically she always pay on time. Let's do this courtesy and remove this late payment and give this late payment back.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not buying anything else. I'm paying off everything. I have a cash flow to pay off my last 2 cars, $2,300 total. Then I'm killing off my car note. I want my house paid off in 10 years. That's my new journey. Come on in. That's a plan.
You gotta go.
That's a plan, and you have to stick to that plan.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I want a nice emergency fund, and only reoccurring bills. Absolutely. I call them residual bills because they're gonna come regardless.
Yeah,
You know,
you know,
residual bills, like gas
like
and
gas and water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Zoe was talking about. I googled. It says for homeowners with a mortgage, the primary tax form is Form 1098 mortgage interest statement. I don't know if that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, that's a form that they send you every year that captures your interest that you paid, your taxes. It'll show your taxes that you paid, your interest, and any your interest and any insurance, mortgage insurance, homeowners insurance.
And I will also say as well, have some sort of relationship. You know, I know you have a banking account, but have some sort of relationship with some sort of credit union, whether it's Navy Federal, USAA. These credit unions do different business than banks do, and they're a little bit more lenient with their credit. And I've seen where they'll literally give you everything you want if you take care of them. If you pay your bills on time and you have a relationship with them, they'll give you all the credit you want.
Yeah, and sometimes you're like so I'm doing right now. I have 4 different banks that I deal with: USAA, Orion Credit, Credit Union, Truist, and First Horizon. So those are my 4 accounts that I have for bank. So I have a variety.
You got credit unions too. So
well, the USAA is not a credit union. That's my bank.
Well, they move. They not a credit union, but they kind of move in that matter.
Yeah, because they only service military or military,
Right.
or military families. So and so they kind of move that way. But what I'm finding with them is it's really difficult to do anything with them, and their rates are a lot higher than other places. And so I'm starting like wondering, like, should I just even leave them, because even though I don't really see the benefits. When I had homeowners insurance to them, my homeowners insurance was $1,000 more than what I'm paying now. When I had car insurance, my car insurance was $100 more than what I'm paying now. So I didn't see the benefit because it wasn't cheaper than other places for me. And that's why I told them, I said, and even when I don't know if I mentioned it to you, Lavelle, but I had mentioned about having the actual applying for some life insurance through them, and the life insurance was more than any life insurance policy that I ever got. And I was like, what are the benefits of me having y'all? Because every time I apply for something, it's higher than everybody else. So I
Yeah,
don't
it may be because of they status or they type of name they supposed to be,
I don't
this higher type,
but they keep making
institution.
all these commercials talking about these commercials talking about they better and this and that and but they higher. Everything that I've gotten, every product that I've gotten with them has been higher.
They taking their money paying for their marketing and say that they hire.
And so I'm strongly considering just just leaving them. I've been talking to Monica about
Mm.
she said they didn't change in the last 5 years. Well, I've been with them 8 years, and in the 8 years I've been with them, like I said, every product that I had from them has been higher than any product I have with anybody else. So, like, yeah. So I
I know
don't
I
I
know
don't
that
I don't
those
use them for none of that stuff no more.
Yeah, I know as far as those high yielding credit cards with the high values, generally that's who people are always talking about the Navy Federal and USAA, where they give you the that
Well, I always hear
2%.
Chase. I always hear them talk about Chase and
Yeah,
Navy
Chase is one, but basically Navy Federal they get like this big credit card they can give you like $150,000 credit limit or something like that on it.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Hmm.
Oh boy, you buy the house, car, everything. That
Yep.
so yeah, you can it depends on how you want to move and how you want to repair your credit. You got to make your payments on time. Prioritize paying all your bills by their due dates. Set up payment reminders or automatic payment. That's another thing I do too. Like if I used to do this before I started just putting everything, just listing everything for the year out on my check register. That way I know what I have. And then if something new pops up, all I had to do is add it in. Um, but I used to do on my calendar. I used to do payment reminders on my calendar.
Hmm.
It would just send me a pay reminder, pay this, pay that, pay that. And I kept saying, man, but if I just already have it on here in advance, see, I know what I'm getting coming in, I know what's going out. I ain't even got I know what I can spend at that point, like 3 months ahead of time. I can go in and look at my check register and know what I can spend and what I can't.
Right.
So
Also, majority of your credit card companies will you got to go in there and do it, but most of your credit card companies that give you it has an opportunity in your I guess you want to call it your back office or your account information. It has an opportunity where you can do it by email, you can do it by text. Uh, some of them got it where you can it tell you right when it's going right before it's going to be due. Some of them got the different options, so there's
yeah,
really no
I always
excuse.
select all the notifications for that stuff too, just in case
Yeah, yeah,
something slipped, Yeah, you got a notification being texted to you, or they'll text you say we received your payment. You know,
all it.
yeah. But lower
Mhm.
your credit utilization, pay down your existing credit card, just like uh Rodney has a plan to just knock out all his credit cards first, then jump on his card note and see what he. And I'm assuming what Rodney's gonna do. I'm just assuming because he didn't tell me exactly what his plan was, but this is what mine was. Is you pay off all the cards. Then once you pay off all the cards, you take that money that you was paying on the cards and you pour that money into that car now. And then you pay off that car early. Then you take that money that you was paying into that car and then you dump that into the house. And then that's
Yep.
how so the amount you paying out ain't changed. It's just where you're directing that money to has changed.
Another key factor that helped us, and this is how we still do our house mortgage. Uh, we don't pay it monthly; we pay it every other week, basically in half. And what that trick does, I think it's 7 payments within a year's time. I think 7 payments is like an extra payment or something like that. I forget
But
how it
what
breaks
the
down. I had a
house note?
formula. You can do it with your car note or your house note, either
Oh
or.
yeah,
It's a way that instead of you paying that one monthly payment to where because keep in mind you always gonna have principal and interest.
yeah.
But I think it's like seven periods in there that it's gonna do more principal than it's gonna do interest. In other words, you're gonna save some monies
Well,
in there. So
well,
I
I've
have to
always
find the
heard
form.
that if you just pay an extra, whatever your note is, if you pay an extra principal payment while you're paying your note, so if your note is $1,100 and part of that is going into your escrow for your insurance and taxes, right? Maybe 400 is going there, so 600 is going towards principal and interest, right? And so
Hmm.
after out of that 600, maybe 250 is going toward principal. So if you make an extra principal payment of $300 or $400, you can pay. They say you can cut up to 5 to 10 years off your home, depending
Right.
on how much you're paying.
Yeah.
So that's good too. Monkey said, "Hey y'all, I missed all last week. Great conversation this morning." Rodney said, "I use auto pay for a lot of my bills and cards, so they come out automatically every month, and my Google Calendar reminds me when payment come out. Cool. Just as long as you got something to remind you. If you don't have it like me, I just got all mine listed in my checkbook. It's a digital checkbook. It's called Checkbook. Let me
Only
see
reason
if
why only reason why I don't like to do the automatic payment because it's only going to pay the minimum, and I don't like to pay the minimum on everything because if depending on what you don't put on the card you're paying for, like so if it's going to be something that you're going to pay with the same amount every time, no matter what it's going to do, and it's just going to pay that particular bill, and it's what it costs. Like it's $19 for this particular subscription. It's
well, you
cool,
can set up the auto pay to pay more though.
huh?
Like if it's a credit card and your auto pay just says your credit card bill $50, you can set it up to pay more than just the $50.
Yeah, but sometimes depending on I know like on my situation by me being, I don't y'all work jobs, you know what I'm saying? So my situation sometimes be different. Sometimes I may sometimes I may
Well, I don't have a whole lot of auto pays unless it's like insurance and stuff like that. But I do have
yeah.
auto.
Yeah, I just never did get into the auto pay deal.
Yeah, I do have some things that are auto pay for
Yeah.
sure. Cause I just didn't want to be dealing with having to go in there and set it up and pay it every month. And it's especially like for those quarterly insurances and stuff like that. I was like, I ain't got time to remember that. And then my T-Mobile bill is automatic, and my internet is automatic.
Right.
Yeah, so I just didn't want to have to be trying to figure that stuff out.
Yeah, so Rodney just shared that he said uh paying your house note bi-weekly will account 213 payments a year, cutting 7 years off your mortgage.
All right, see if I can send this real quick. It's called Volcron Checkbook.
That's the app.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually upload a picture of it so y'all can see. So you can see what that looks like. I want y'all to be able to, whatever tool is necessary, I want you to have that tool. I want you to have that tool. So, if that tool, however that tool can help you be better, I want you to be better at it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna upload this.
Mm.
And all I did was took a screenshot of the actual thing so you guys can see. But that's what it's called, Volcron Checkbook. And they got some other different kind of checkbook registers out there, but I really like this one because you can, like I said, back it up to Dropbook or some other um, means of saving it. And when you update it, and you can that way you can use it on different phones. If you got multiple phones, you can use it, and it won't be taxing on you that way. Trying to figure it out. Also, Rodney said paying your house note bi-weekly will account for 13. Yep. That was another thing somebody told me. A mortgage company saying, well, you're just paying it bi-weekly because you add those extra payments on there. Yep.
Mm.
And
Hey, this is honestly, but off the subject because at the end of the day, we talking about saving money, putting money up, and all this thing. I know you've been with T-Mobile for a good little while. As long as I can know. And so we've
since
been with
PowerTel and VoiceStream.
yeah. So we were AT&T, man, and me and Don were talking last week. Like it's like they juicing us, bro. Like our telephone bill is just crazy. So how many phones you got on? How many phones you got on your account?
I got four phones and one tablet. and I pay like about 120 a month, 120 something like that.
You lying?
No, because every line now I do because I'm ex-military. I'm under a military plan too, but still, uh, every time they look at my stuff, they be like, because they from time to time, and I do call in, they always look at my account and see if there's a way they can cut me, some slack or whatever, and they be like, "Oh no, you got the best plan right now, Mr. May," So I don't be tripping.
So you're not grandfathered on anything as far as your pay?
No, because the old grandfather plan I was in for so long, they didn't offer it no more. And so when it came to like discounts on getting new phones and upgrading all that, I couldn't get none of it because I was grandfathered. So I had to change to a new plan
Okay.
in order to be, but the plan was still like again. And then every 2 or 3 years when they update and change their plans to something else, I had to eventually change to whatever that plan is. But they still always give me the best one and make sure it's like tied to the military. And I get Netflix for free.
Yeah, because the lady talked to us in Sam one time about T-Mobile. She said we could save money. So you
Yeah.
get some kind of referral fee if we go to T-Mobile. You get some kind of referral.
I don't know. Bro, I've been with them so long, bro. When people they look at my account, they be like, "Oh, thank you for that." I said, "Nah, I've been with y'all since PowerTel and VoiceStream." They be like, "God." Them young folk, and that's why they be like, "What is PowerTel?" I was like, "Y'all was PowerTel, then VoiceStream, then T-Mobile."
Yeah, I think we've been with AT&T since they were like Suncom and Bell South Mobility.
Yeah. Marcus said, make a plan, and stick to it. Rodney said, my minimum payment may be 60. Auto pays are at least $100 per card and 300 for the large card. Okay, bet. Miss Loretta said a lot of companies that you do business with require you to do auto pay, which in long run helps your credit. Well, and I can agree with that. Well, and I don't think they necessarily require you because nobody can really make you pay auto pay. But what they do is they offer you a discount and something like T-Mobile. For me having auto pay, I get an extra $10, $15 off my bill every month because I use auto pay.
Man, soon we get out the lab, man. I'm finna go we're done. We finna go to T-Mobile, doc.
I'm telling you.
We paying 2 of your phone bill.
Oh no. Now I got 4 lines. I got my sister line on here, Monica line, my business line, and my tab.
Wow. Yeah, we tripping.
And only reason, actually, I pay a little bit more now because I didn't have insurance on my phone. Every time I mess up a phone, I just buy another phone. But I finally added the insurance, and so I think I added to my sister's phone because she said every time she come home, she tore up her phone. I got to buy a new phone, so I added her. I think that was like $10 for hers because she got it. And then for mine and Monica's,
about an extra $40.
yeah, it was like an extra $18 or $15, whatever per phone. So because I never had, but I was like, way I be breaking screens on phones. I was like, boy, every time you repair a screen, $400, $450. I was like, nah, you Tony, you might well get the insurance. So I got the insurance. So it went up a little bit over that 140 because of those insurances, but still, like
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
5 lines.
Wow.
Hey, she been almost as long as me. I've been with him. I've been with him since I was in the military back in 89. I went in the military 89, 90. And I went in 90. Yeah.
And that's gonna pay extra money about Netflix being free because we pay for Netflix.
Yeah, cause you get free basic, you get the free basic Netflix, but if you upgrade to like the family or whatever, then I think they charge you like $6.99 or $7.99 or something like that, whatever it is.
Yeah. Soon we get the live. We're gonna go have a conference call.
All right, y'all, we got to get out of here. But I hope something has been said to help you guys to kind of plan for the future, to get your self together, man. I tried, y'all. I reached out on Facebook to several credit people, and I guess they got their own thing.
And I was earlier because one of my friend girls, and because some of these guys are here, ladies that do this stuff, they do it, to get these quick little money. You got to pay this subscription for them to monitor your credit and all that stuff. And one young lady, they got her. You know what I'm saying? They ran up some of her money.
Oh, yeah, you definitely have to be careful.
Yeah, be careful with some of these people, man.
And that's why I say, and DeVale had said this several times too. Try to fix it yourself first. Try to go through the things that we mentioned, paying on time, being a good paying man, watching your credit utilization, watching all these things. Rodney has alluded to some things that he's done to kind of help him in his credit situation. So just kind of monitor these things and monitor your FICO scores, and don't really pay attention to the credit score. If it doesn't say FICO score, then it's not the true score that a lot of banks and stuff use. So make sure it says FICO score. And
the other stuff that these folks be sharing, are doing with these credit repair companies, a lot of this stuff is on YouTube. Like we were talking about earlier, ChatGPT.
Yeah, everybody, I get it though. Everybody is not. They're not. They're not like that. They're not savvy like that. And I understand that everybody won't be able to do that. And you may decide to use some professional help. If you do, all we're saying is be careful. Do your research on that company before you start sending them, getting your money.
Yeah.
Because I know Lil Tony was paying some girl to help him with his business credit and was paying on the stuff for over a year and ain't nothing happened. I was like, bro, you need to drop that zero.
What?
Yeah. So hope you guys have got something out of it, man. We try to do our best to make sure we bring you relevant content, things that are going to help us become the better version of ourselves, man. And hopefully this is just another means, a way of which we have tried to do that on today, try to serve you guys and be of some type of assistance to you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, for interacting and sharing your testimonies about your credit or about things that you guys have been through personally as it relates to it. So DeVale, pray us out, brother.
Before I prayed out, man, Gwendolyn Powell came right in and said and confirmed everything I said. No one else should care more about protecting your credit. Protect your own.
Yes. And yes.
Yeah, and Rodney came back and said, I also have a new savings account called Ally that pays 5% interest to you according to your core. Yep, I like those different banks that do that. Yeah, good deal. Also, man, happy birthday to our sister Monica, man. She celebrated her birthday on yesterday.
Yeah,
we didn't get to do it Friday, but happy birthday. I called and sang her a song, happy birthday. And
everybody was calling and sang it to her. We had even the mothers at church called and sang to her. That tickled her so bad. That tickled her. But it's just good for people to man appreciate you or show love, man, any kind of way they can, man. They don't have to, man, but I'm thankful and grateful when they do, and
absolutely.
Just like her, man, she was so grateful, and her having the surgery on a week or so ago, and then just trying to come through. She went to church yesterday, and just started her day off really good, man. She had a really good day yesterday. So
awesome. Let us pray. Most gracious God, our Father, Lord God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity, for this new week. Look down on this week for to be there with you would have it to be. Continue to touch all our opportunities and can touch our efforts. We actually continue to look down on Tony family, my family, Queen family, and every family that's associated with us. Lord God, continue to touch our finances holistically and give us the mindset and the wisdom and the knowledge to go by doing these things the correct way and be responsible with what you have blessed us with. And Lord God, we be forever careful for your name, the glory, the honor, and the praise that you are due. And we actually do all these things in your daughter, son, Jesus' name. Somebody shout it.
Amen. I want to add, Lord, that please watch over all of our children. There's so much going on with our children today. God, please dispatch your angels to stand God around and protect all of our children from any hurt, harm, or danger. Danger, whether seen or unseen, oh God, that you will shield and protect them right now in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time.
Same bad place.
2 Men in Hats. Let's talk about
it.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.